At the Urban Systems Lab, we're advancing urban science that can improve decision-making for sustainability, for livability, and for justice in cities. And we do this at neighborhood, regional, and global scales. To do this means not only developing the scientific techniques and the methods, but also working with designers, data visualization experts to make that science understandable and to make it actionable. Our work in the USL spans the globe, from New York City, Baltimore, Miami, and Phoenix, to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Valdivia, Chile, Hermosillo, Mexico, to Barcelona, Berlin, Stockholm, to Shenzhen and Beijing. We work globally to provide the science to improve policy, but also to develop a comparative urban science to understand what works, what solutions are working in some places, why they're working that way, and how we can scale them for impact from neighborhood to global scales. The core goals of the USL are to use science and design to improve the lives of the most vulnerable people and ecosystems, and to help us to understand complex urban system dynamics. Our goals are to develop systemic solutions to climate change and build resilience with a commitment of working with communities to co-design those solutions to improve policy, planning, and climate governance.
Communities are essential in envisioning positive futures. They provide the context for what's important to them, and they provide the context for coming up with the innovations because they know what will work in their community and what won't work in their community. Communities also bring diverse perspectives that decision makers and academics and other people might not bring to the conversation otherwise. Co-design allows us to bring multiple people and multiple voices into one space, untangle their assumptions, our own personal assumptions, put them back together in a way that comes up with a shared vision. Some successes that we've had in our work are just getting people together in the room to have conversations around climate resilience, developing innovative solutions together, and actually getting these innovative solutions implemented in communities and in cities.
We take a systems approach to the work that we do in the USL. What does that mean? For us, that means we look at the interactions and the interdependencies between the socio-economic, the ecological, biophysical, and the technological infrastructural domains of urban systems. Our work on climate change is examining the future of flooding and flood risk in cities. In New York, for example, we're working with the city to understand where flooding is likely to happen. We're using advanced modeling as well as data visualization techniques to help uncover where that flooding is likely to happen, who is most at risk, and what critical assets and critical infrastructure need to be moved or reconsidered in order to help make the city more safe and to help make those most vulnerable more safe. We are advancing the science of what drives urban heat to understand both current risks from heat and heat waves, but also future risk, and doing this at very high spatial resolution so that we can prioritize interventions locally in the areas that can help us protect the most vulnerable.
I think heat is probably the most important challenge facing our societies right now. It is the most clear global signal. When we talk about climate change, we're mostly talking about increasing temperatures worldwide, and that goes for the entire world almost. Almost every single point in the world is getting hotter year over year. Understanding the social, geographical, and climatological variations of this huge problem that we have, not just at the global level, but also at different neighborhoods in different cities in different parts of the world, allows us to look at where the most impactful interventions we can make are, and how we can help protect those who are most in need of being protected or have the least amount of resources to protect themselves through better understanding of the climate around them and how we can invest the resources that we do have.
We bring our advanced urban data science and computational abilities to help us understand the complexity of urban systems, and also to bring it to our work with local communities so they have access to the same data and analytics as wealthy cities and the private sector.
What we have developed at the lab at this point is this graphic and design language that cuts across all the projects and different media outcomes. So we have a specific font we use, we have rules and constraints for it, we have specific colors, and I think that helps a lot to bring together different media types. For example, in the reports, you can see that infographics, images, maps are part of the same set, but they are different things that can have a conversation with each other. One example where database has been impactful is the USL database platform. I think there are a few places where different professionals or stakeholders can come together and start talking in the same terms, because we feel very comfortable in our own disciplines to use certain jargon or to use certain ways that we're used to do things. But the potential for the platform is to bring this together in a spatial way, because we're talking about cities, to start imagining how it's going to be the future.
We work with local communities, other top research organizations, with city governments to help advance a way to envision a more positive urban future. We invite you to join us, to follow us, and support us in helping to make our cities more just, more livable, more sustainable, and more resilient.